Thanks for joining us. My name is Peter Tomala, running for the State House of Representative in West Valley City, joined with County Mayor Ben McAdams.
Great to be with you.
And Mr. Mayor, there's a lot of things going on, obviously, here through the election season, but there's a lot that your office has been working on from the county level, and obviously working with the state. There's a lot of issues on the west side that are important, from education, public transportation, crime. But what are some things that you've seen from the county level that have been making a real positive impact, whether it's the west side or just the county in general?
Well, one of the things that we're really focused on is the quality of our public education. And a lot of times people think that's not a county issue, but I would say that is an issue for the residents of Salt Lake County. Whether you're serving in the state legislature, or on the county council, or Salt Lake County mayor, we all need to be concerned about the quality of our public education. So Salt Lake County is focused on expanding opportunities for early education. If we can get our kids on the right foot at the earliest ages, we know that they can have opportunities to succeed throughout the school year. But we really need leadership at the state level to make sure that we are investing in our kids, investing in our schools, and investing in our teachers. And you know, we're falling behind as a state.
Mm-hmm. One of the things we hear a lot when we go out in the community, that's not just a west side issue, but throughout the county, is the idea of getting better at education, but also people don't really want to raise taxes, right? They want to use with the resources and the money that we have. And some things that you've really, I think, pioneered and done a good job is private-public solutions that we've had. Can you talk really briefly about some of the ways that we can go about increasing our success, increasing the access to education, but without having to raise taxes?
Yeah, well, I mean, we do need to spend more on education, but one of the things that we've been really focused on at Salt Lake County is how do you not just spend more, but spend more wisely. Mm-hmm. And one of the things we see is sometimes we are, you know, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, but sometimes we are spending on those pounds of cure where kids are failing in the school system. We're trying to get them back up to speed, get them back integrated in the school system, where if we could just fund some of the early intervention stuff, the early investments in the early years of our kids, we can avoid a lot of those expensive back-end expenses that cost the taxpayers a lot of money and aren't as effective. So that's where we've really focused on the early years, preschool, investments in full-day kindergarten, investments in early childhood literacy. All of those things are that ounce of prevention that's worth a pound of cure. You can spend a penny investing in the youngest kids and avoid dollars being spent when they're falling through the cracks in a failing school system.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's really important that the money that we spend at the early side of a child's life is something that really is an investment for not only themselves and the families, but our community, right? When we invest that money early in them, whether it's after school programs, kindergarten, whatever it is, that's money well spent. Really quickly, we talk about the west side, we talk about West Valley City, you know, the Curtains area as well, about green space and transportation. There's a lot of construction going on, as people are familiar on the west side.
Yeah.
But it's also going to change a little bit, I think, for the better, right? As the area continues to grow, that's something the county's focused on is green spacing, but also making sure that our roads are taken care of and everyone has access to transportation.
Yeah, we know our population is growing, especially on the west side of Salt Lake County. Population is growing so fast, and the demands to service that population grow as well. We need to continue to invest in our roads, to maintain our, you know, really just to even fix potholes and keep our roads safe to drive on, but also growing capacity. As our population grows, we become more dense, we see infill, and we just see a lot of new residents who are coming to live here, and that growth is focused on the west side of Salt Lake County. Are we building the infrastructure? Are we investing for tomorrow that we can make sure that people can get to and from work and to and from you know, play and school and whatever safely, without hitting potholes and traffic congestion, and really planning for the future. And that's one of the things we really need to focus on, and especially on the west side, where it's north-south connections with the Mountain View corridor, and along 215, and in improving those bridges and viaducts, but also east-west connections. We have the 201. It's a great way to get east-west, but that in peak hours is gridlocked, and you know, so to continue to expand capacity and make sure people can get to and from work and to and from school safely and quickly.
And that's one of the great things that you hear from the mayor is solutions, right? We have challenges, but there's ways of going about this, and so partnerships between the county level and the state and even the local governments. This is what it's all about, and I think, and so I applaud you guys' effort at the county level. We'll continue to fight for some of those issues at the local and the state level. That's what it's all about, right? Coming together, compromising to get things done to make this a better place for all of us to live. So thanks again for taking some time there.
Thank you, Peter.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.